Hi everybody, I'm Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, and welcome to the Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are on parade. It's time for the Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of the Covered Monkey, and your host, with the Toast Topsy Toaster, and a wizard called Gandalf, featuring the sounds of the Glass-O-Wake Symphony Orchestra, and the musical stylings of Gordon, the music maestro. Let's get ready to loco! Ho, ho, ho! Ooh.
A big hello to you. So great to see you this fine morning. It is Monday Club's great big Tuesday outing, and it is, of course, primarily to cover the Hornby 2024 announcements, which you're probably already aware of because they went live at 9. I can see you giggling away.
Yeah, hi everyone. We've just confused a few people with the intro that says, "It's Monday, it's 7 p.m.
It's always Monday on the Monday Club, even when it's Tuesday. So we're going to kick off today. There are, of course, some other big announcements which came yesterday, both of which actually I think have shocked the model railway world, and in a way overshadowed the 2024 announcements. So, of course, the biggest one, and you have to have been living in a cardboard box, if you hadn't spotted.
Thanks for that, I've now got that in my head.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. If you hadn't spotted that, unfortunately, after 77 years of trading, the behemoth of the model railway shops, the permanent fixture on all of our shopping calendars, that is Hatton's, has unfortunately announced yesterday that they will be closing down. And again, we reiterate, Hatton's has not gone bust. I did see some people trying to suggest this. That is not the case. They have not gone bankrupt. They are winding down their operations. There will not be any debts or any issues like that. It is a sad announcement for those people that work at Hatton's and who have shopped at Hatton's for a great many years. I mean, my Hatton's journey started in late 1980s, early 1990s, discovering the shop with my father, back when it was on Smithdown Road, number 180, that veritable Aladdin's cave of a shop with Norman Hatton in his brown shop coat behind the counter. And he used to have good and bad days, if you remember those. Some days he was the most affable person you could imagine, and other days he was Mr. Grumpy. And I think it all depended on just how he felt. But so many great and happy memories. They then moved to a bigger premises further down Smithtown Road, and then very quickly moved over to Widnes, which is where they're based at the moment. There's a big closing down sale as well. I am still very, very ill this morning, so I'm going to talk a bit quieter and see if that helps. So a big hello to Sarah Davies, Aaronville. Angus's Trains, there's 2 shows on Tuesday, such fun. So yes, you'll have the rerun of last night's Monday Club plus this. It's always great to catch you live. Logan Garrett says it's not Monday Club. Aha! That's what they want you to think.
It's always Monday somewhere.
Yeah, David Scott says, good morning folks, and hi Jenny, hope you're feeling a little better. I'd like to say yes, unfortunately I feel like death warmed up, unbelievably ill. Lambton Lane Model Railway, Wangok, Alex Dent, Warbler Production says, I'm going to have to reorder my Oxford Rail crane wagon from Rails now. Had one on order from Hatton since the announcement in 2020. If you have any pre-orders at Hatton's, then you need to move these to other retailers. Now, I believe that, amongst others, Rails of Sheffield have been made aware. I think that there's been some discussions between Rails, Hatton's and Hornby and other manufacturers as well. The idea being that models that were allocated for Hatton's will be made available to those people who had them ordered at Hatton's but now have to move. I think Rails of Sheffield is the primary location for these, but they also suggest try Witness Model Centre and any number of your local model shops as well will be able to help. Do get those orders in quick, because I suspect there's only a narrow window before things that were sold out will become sold out again. Also do check out the Hatton's closing down sale. There's some great bargains to be had. I think a lot of them got sold last night. Apparently there's some unbelievable web traffic at Hatton's last night.
It was so hard to get through onto that.
Yeah, and
onto their
so
site.
pretty much all the new stuff is gone. Excuse me. And a lot of the second-hand has as well.
Which is good from their point of view.
Oh, yes, yeah. And top picks for me is if you're into the Hornby TXS Bluetooth decoders, they have these for £45, which is the cheapest that you can find them anywhere. But they only have the 21 pin and the next 18 decoders. So get them while you can. You'll never find them this cheap again. Now, the other news, which broke pretty much for us right at the end of the show. So if
Not
you
so
had
much
to...
it broke, but got confirmed.
Yes, Warley 2024 is cancelled. And I am told that Warley may well not be continuing going forward. Now, complex, multifaceted reasons for this. One of the main reasons is that the organisers of the Warley show have been doing it for a great many years. Wish to retire. You can only do it for so long before you think, actually, I just want some time off.
Can't blame them.
Getting on a bit, they've announced that they want to stand down. And at the moment, as far as I'm aware, there is nobody to take their place. Nobody's prepared to put the work in. It is a huge job. No organisers, but also attendance as well was down this last year. I think, unfortunately, Warley has often been a victim of its own success. It's become very expensive because of when it's held, and that's started to put people off. They don't like the crushes. Transport has been a nuisance. And the train companies have gone on. Well, the drivers' union, I think it is, went on strike for the last 2 Warleys in a row, and it's
almost like it was targeted. It really
it
felt
does
like
feel
that.
like it was targeted. So way to go, ASLEF and the other unions, which I can't remember the names of. You killed Warley. Well, you helped to kill it. Oh, yeah, that's really going to get you some good support. But it's kind of the perfect storm of various things. So unfortunately, it looks like the Warley NEC show has now come to an end. But I have been told that there are plans in the pipeline to try and run a show. It'll be a smaller show at a different venue. I don't know whether it'll be around the same time, so do keep an eye on that. Anyway, so Angus's train says, I looked at the sales this morning in Australia and there wasn't much left by the looks of things, but it wasn't worth it with postage overseas. Do bear in mind that you won't pay VAT, so take 20% off all of the prices you see on the Hatton's website, and that invariably covers the postage costs.
And also bear in mind that exorbitant postage costs are one of the reasons that Hatton's has stated they're having to close.
Yeah, I mean, for Hatton's, rising costs, a lot of competition, shrinkage of disposable incomes have all conspired together that they were profitable last year. The year before last. I believe the last set of accounts that they released, they had something like a 15 or 16 million pound turnover, but posted a £450,000 loss. Now, at the moment, they can absorb that, but I think they've done the sums and taken a view that why would you continue going until you've used up all of your reserves? So it's actually a very sensible thing to do. There was, last year or the year before, a long-standing firm that makes bicycles in the UK that did exactly the same. They weren't insolvent, they weren't going bankrupt, but they took a view that the business model that they were in was not long-term sustainable. So they wound down business at a point where nobody lost out, which is actually a very, very sensible thing to do.
Yes.
Right. Agate Master 199 says, but we get hit with general sales tax in Australia on the import.
Oh.
I don't know whether there's a threshold. Certainly in the UK, if your order is worth under a certain amount, it doesn't attract VAT. We get hit with that as well. And then for the privilege of having sent you a piece of paper that costs them peanuts, Royal Mail then charges a handling charge, which quite often makes the cost stratospheric. It really is a bit of a con.
So, now that all that's out the way, Jen,
let's get
I
on.
That there's some up-and-coming company called Hornby.
Yes,
Oh,
so now
Hornby?
on your screen, when the mouse is returned to
You
me...
want this?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Jump for it, jump. You can jump.
No,
higher than
come on, let's not mess about. And for anybody who thinks that they're arriving late, don't worry, it's actually Tuesday. But Gandalf has bestowed upon us from Gandalf Towers, where he's having a lie-in.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Yeah, thanks. It's very small Gandalf. It's with the magic of Gandalf.
Of Shrinkovision.
Yes, he's put his voice in a little box for us, so he can have a lie-in. So on your screen, you'll see Hornby Range 2024, and I'm going to jump right in.
Yeah,
with
this
the
looks
big
amazing.
ticket item. With the big tick. Oh. There we go. So, on your screen, this. Somebody last night on the Monday Club actually said, oh, the Stockton and Darlington Railway locomotion number 1. And I poo-pooed it. So, a big apology to that person.
Yeah, because you killed it right.
Honestly did not think we would ever see a model of this. So, as you can see on the screen, excuse me, it's a CAD file of this. I'm really quite intrigued. Price point $169.99, which I think is. I mean, bear in mind that's the RRP. So you will get you'll get a discount off that. Normally is how it works. But I'm really impressed with this. So
what I'm also impressed with is look at when it's expected this year.
Oh, Joe Smith says, I just got an order out of Hatton's. Hits with 35% extra in VAT and duty charges. Oh, my word.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Angus's Train says, yes, but even with the postage and adding up all of it, it's just cheaper to buy the models within Australia. I would love to support them. It just isn't viable.
Yeah.
That is an absolute shame, because I know in the past, Australian model shops were considered quite pricey, and I knew a lot of Australian and New Zealand modelers that would buy from the UK to keep costs down.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's always the case, support your local model shop when you can.
Because literally, even the big boys are going to go down if we don't.
Yeah. It may well be, I don't know, you'd have to speak with a model shop, but it may be if you're quite friendly with a model shop, perhaps do a deal whereby they can effectively import a big chunk of stuff and not incur similar costs to what you would as a private importer, and maybe almost have like a club together and a whole group of fellow enthusiasts in a model shop put in a big order for trade.
Well, Captain Genster, I am going to head off ski.
Okay.
So, if you...
Yeah, I know they're Coke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your hokey cokies are there.
Yeah, anyway, so we've got Turaco 00 Railway says 1208 in South Africa. Greetings from Turaco 00. Great to see you. I know it's about 11 in New Zealand. I think people are seeing that. So, really great to see people in. Wangok says he poo-pooed your poo-poo.
It was a lot of poo-pooing last night. It was very pooey.
Yeah. Sarah Davis says, it always makes me laugh when I buy RC car parts from Hong Kong, and no matter how much they cost, they write toy parts $20. Yes, there is that. I mean, Hatton's is completely above board, so they wouldn't do it. But yes, I have been sent stuff from China and it's like toy parts $20. And it's like, let's get that in under the radar.
See you later.
A big hello to New Junction. Great to see you. So right, we've got on the screen. This is the big ticket item for me, and I did say last night in my defence that I thought that the I keep saying wanting to say Somerset and Dorset. No, Stockton and Darlington 200th anniversary, and whilst that isn't really being touted on here, that's I'm guessing what's fitting in with this. So let's see. So this will come with a Next 18 socket. And I'd like to think that that would be HM7000 ready. I think they can get similar sound files. There's a replica at Beamish, possibly not of this loco, but of a similar one with those weird rods. So yeah, interesting. 247 train says, New Junction, talk to me. You've got to say please. Leamington Station says, you sound a little better today, Jen. I think this is a great addition to the night. Yeah, this, I think, is the kind of innovation that we need to see in the hobby. There you go, 247 trains. New Junction said hi to you. There you are. Tony Wright says, hi, Jenny, Zoe, and everyone. Big hello to you. Great to see you. Hope you're well. Route 7 Railways, hello to you. 247 train says, thanks for talking to me. Oh, that's okay. So yeah, Upwell and Onward says, I like how technically one of the original 4 A4s in the new double O range, but like Grossly and BR Green and single blast pipe 7. No, I will get to that, because that for me is one of the other sleeper hits. So I think these are going to prove very popular. Catalogue number R30346. Get your pre-order in, because I think this is going to sell out really, really quickly. Expected release date of autumn this year, so you've got a little while. Then we've got the Beatles set. Triangle Railways Remembered R2X Analog Train set. I'm going to gloss past some of these for now. We've also got Queen's Jubilee Class 67. Good morning to you, Simon Snow. Toroko Double Arrow says, hi, Jen, I heard you coughing. I hope not ill with COVID again. No, I've got, I think it might be whooping cough. So what we've got here is the Westwood 70th anniversary. There's always an anniversary with Hornby. 70 years in Margate, and there are some products to tie in with that. So we've done the keep wanting to say Somerset and Dorset. It's not Stockton and Darlington. So I'm going to roll down, and on this page, this is interesting. The L1 tank has been missing from the range for quite some time. Now, there are 2 different liveries announced, I believe. This one, as a standout, has never been offered in this livery. And I think that, it's quite expensive, $179.99. I remember I bought, now, where's it gone? I'm looking around, actually. I've got my, here it is. So, from the shelves, I got my L1. And I've actually got, this was the must-have livery from me. And I got it from Model Zone, remember them? And I think I only paid like 50, maybe £60 tops for it. So it just shows sign of the times. But I do like the Doncaster Green, but with the BR livery. So this one that's been previously released was number 67717. The one that they're releasing is E9011. So it's actually still got its LNER number, so it's quite a narrow window. But I do hope they fixed. There were some issues with the front bogie, which is actually apparent on mine. I know a few people have talked about it. So downward view there. It's still 8-pin socket. I wouldn't expect that to be upgraded. I would have liked to have seen some of the actual TXS announcements. Not really been any new ones that I've seen. Yeah, Gamehammer Classic Games says Stockton and Darlington North East represent. Wait, man was spooky. It's going down the groove. John PW22 says, morning, Jen and all. Happy New Year. Glad you're up and kicking. Very sad about Hattons. Wondering if they overcommitted to such a huge range, despite what they are. Such a loss from the industry. Now, I know that Richard Davies has been on a tour. He went out to China to visit factories. He's been over to the US as well. And I think that there's been a lot of fact-finding. And I think just generally a realisation that whilst at the moment they're still holding their own, that could well change. And they've decided to wind the business up whilst there's still money in the bank, whilst everything's still okay. And it means that everybody comes out of it with all the bills paid, and also that, you don't end up with people who own the business losing everything. So I think, it's from a purely pound, shillings and pence point of view, it's actually a very laudable thing to do. Now, we did check in, I say we, I checked in with a couple of people I know at Hatton's, because I think the one thing that wasn't being talked about was actually, I hope that the people were okay. It's not an easy decision to make. And, you've got people who've worked at Hatton's for a long, long time. You've got people who've actually invested millions of pounds in Hatton's as a business. And, that's a difficult thing to have to make this decision. So I did check in just to make sure that people were okay. And it's sometimes forgotten there's real people behind all of these. Sarah Davis says, Zoe, please slap Jenny for that very dodgy Bristol accent. Wait, man? If I was doing Bristol, I'd sound like a pirate. Yarr, you want a copy DVD? That's how I sound like a pirate. David Scott, big hello. Angus is trying to say, I'm happy some of the Era 1 stock, only previously available in packs, now available separately. Absolutely. Now, this is the P2 Earl Marischal with steam generator and extra smoke deflectors. Now, there was a CAD shed of this. It has been doing the rounds, so we kind of knew that this was coming. Now, this is coming with a TXS Bluetooth and sound decoder, but it's also got the the steam generator, and I don't know whether that may be a different profile. So I think we are getting a hint of some of the forthcoming profiles. 57305 Northern Princesses. I hope someone buys the Genesis tooling. Yeah, I think all the tooling is going to reappear somewhere. Hot Dog Pilot Andy says, shiny, shiny. Roger Knoll says, I bought a few items from Hatton's, including a few scenic bits and bobs, and also a Class 37 and Class 50 as part of my 00 collection. Yeah, and I think after this stream, even though I'm absolutely hard up on cash, I am going to go and support the Hatton's closing down sale. Probably going to buy some TXS decoders. They've got the 21 pin and the next 18s at £45 and a few pennies. So if TXS is your thing, get yourself in there. Right, let's move on from this one. It's there's stuff. We've got another Railroad Plus sound fitted things. Now on this page, it's a bit of a it's sort of ranked them by popularity. Maybe we should start with the big getting moved on. Now, Hornby are doing a number of things to tie in with the 70th anniversary of their move from where was it now? Merton in London to the Westwood site in Margate, and these include the Poly locomotives. So I think there's 3 of these being listed now. These are sure to prove popular. Nostalgia is always a big seller. $49.99, not DCC ready, which is a bit of a shame. You would have thought that they would have slipped in the 4-pin DCC sockets. Now, Charleston Model Railway, big hello to you. Torrico 00 Railway says, was the Bristol not a sports car? Also, AC car. Yeah, Bristol, I think it was Bristol Sidley, part of the born out of the aircraft company. I think after the Second World War, they had they had all this wind down from building all of the things like the Lancaster bombers, short Stirling Spitfires, Hurricanes, those sort of things. So there's an awful lot went into the car company, the fledgling British car company, using duralumin from scrap aeroplanes. Now, we've got, these were previous, I think they're currently still available. The Isle of Wight Central four-wheel coaches are now available separately, $36.99. Prices have gone up. I thought Jenny was doing a side-by-side. No, I'm not doing side-by-side. I sounded very disparaging there. This for me is actually 27-ton iron ore hopper, so tippler, as the ZKV. This is the new tooling. This is actually on my must-have list, and actually a pretty reasonable price, 20 quid for an all-new tooled wagon. Well, recently. So I think that that's a good price. And let's not forget that Hornby is the only manufacturer really catering to the budget end of the market with some of their stuff like Railroad Plus. The Coke Hopper makes a welcome reappearance, but let's move on. Hornby's 70th Factory Limited Edition. You too can have a model of the Hornby factory on your layout. They've also got the office block too, the iconic office block. Tarako Double Railway says, love those coaches. Storm Bowman says, you can easily chip the 04s. Yeah, you can hardwire them. I fit them over the Next 18 decoder and an adapter plate from ESU. A bit of soldering needed, obviously, but not much. Yeah, and Trainomatic via Tramfabrique also do the Next 18 adapter plates as well. John PW22 says, I worked for a while in the old Bristol Cars Manufacturing Factory building, which is now part of Airbus. Yes, because of course Bristol Aeroplane Company became part of the conglomerate that is Airbus. Iron Horse Railway says lots of nice. Oh my word! Thank you so much. Midland Train Spotter very kindly donated £4.99 on the super chat and says amazing content as always. Hope you're doing better after last night's stream. I'm still very delicate, but look, thank you so much for your generosity. I think I'll be putting that towards TXS decoders from Hatton's, and we are saying today that whilst you can't place your pre-orders with Hatton's, then do support them in the sale. Help them get the stock sold and relinquish the money from that so that they can just close the door in an orderly fashion. They will be sadly missed. Tim Maslin says, I did wonder if it would be underwhelming. Hopefully they have held stuff back. There's still a period of consolidation. Just remember that I'm going to order these differently because we're getting quite a hodgepodge. So price high to low. Let's get them ordered that way. And this is the one I really wanted to show you. Hornby 00A4 as Silver King. And somebody said, oh, it's not the chimney mod. Oh, of course not. It's the Hornby 00 model. Anybody who had a Hornby 00 as a kid will know this is the A4 that a lot of people had. So this was the one that surprised me in not being in last year's announcement. So I don't know whether let me have a slurp of Coke. Right, anyway, this is the Hornby 00A4 that people of my age and older had as a kid, and this is the exact same livery and the single chimney. Makes sense because that's what the original Hornby 00 model had. So Hornby have got it perfect, and I for one would have complained if they'd have released it in a different livery or like a double chimney. And on price, I think that is actually, I think that is a slightly lower price than last year. So I will point that out because I think they were selling for, was it $329.99 in last year's catalogue. I'm sure somebody will fill me in. Storm Bowman says, I bet the factory model will sell out quickly. What a gem to have on the layout. Yeah, and they're doing the office block as well, which you see in all the Hornby and Model World videos. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Tim Masner says, Zoe on hand holding the drinks. No, I think she's gone back to bed to sleep because neither of us had a good night. Woke up with coughing fits so many times. Yeah, I think I will need to get some honey. Now, Taroko Double O Railway says, I will get this loco for sure, yeah. And bear in mind, this will sell out quick. It's the only Hornby Double O item that I spotted in the list, surprisingly enough. We did get quite a few last year, maybe, still selling through. We got Golden Fleece, actually as a main range model last year, which mine's away for repair. It arrived faulty. It's a bit of a shame, but what can you do? This top pick for if this is a must-have item, get it ordered now. You can't order with Hattons, but Rails of Sheffield, TMC, the Model Centre, Widnes Model Centre, Great Eastern Models, 53A models. Get your order in with your local model shop as well. There's a lot of places to go, but some of these are going to sell out quickly. Now, this is interesting. I did see a few people calling for this livery. Now, we've had a lot of A4s in this livery, but this is the W1 in the wartime black livery. So let's bring that up, see if we can get a nice big picture of that. So number 10,000. Now, I've seen Sir Charles Newton, and there's a couple of special editions that Hornby did for Rails back in the day in this livery. But they now released the W1. John PW22 makes an interesting point. 186 watching, but only 40 likes. Come on now. Hit that like button. Hot Dog Pilot Andy says, you did want a Silver King. Yes, I did. And I actually picked one up. I've got a renumber and weathered TMC one. I blinked. So I keep looking behind me like it's there. It's up on the shelf up there. So actually, I've already got one, but it is on my radar. Believe me. So I'll have a jolly good think about that. So yeah, the W1 still get mileage out of the tooling. 254.99. Now scrolling down, we've got a welcome reappearance of the King. We've got King Charles II in BR livery and King Stephen in GWR livery. Now, King Stephen, is this the one that became, was it King George VI? So, quite an unusual livery. Probably not the only one to spot that. So, do we get any information on... Yeah, they've gone 21 pin, which is good. What is the other... Oh, it's just a downward image. So, I think this makes a welcome return, hopefully. It's not made clear in this, but I think the TXS King and hopefully the Castle sound profiles will be forthcoming in the TXS range. B1 makes a welcome appearance as well. Tim Maslin says, nice if I ever get an A4, it would be this Nigel Gresley one I saw it running at the Severn Valley Railway last year. I believe that was in this year's, so 2023's Hornby Double O range. Now the B1, I do like the Hornby B1 is a lovely model. There was somebody on RM Web, there's always somebody on RM Web, isn't there, calling for, oh, they need to retool the B1. It's like, you know, there you go, we've got a little present in the box for you, person who wanted Hornby to waste money retooling a retooled model. This is a perfectly good model. The B1 is a great model. And again, we've got that early British Railways Doncaster Green livery, which I really like it. This is another one on my radar. Number 61306 in Doncaster Green, but with British Railways set out in the tender. Much neglected period, a bit like BR Blue D number diesels period. This is another neglected period, but you know, you've got the big four liveries, but with British Railways branding and numbers. I really quite like it. And also, as Warbler Productions points out, that's Mayflower, as it is currently running, and that's what I'd love too. So again, this is going to be a very, very popular model. So again, get your order in for that. Now, this will prove popular. Always popular, this livery. This is the Queen's Jubilee Class 67. At £194.99, don't get it confused with the Railroad Plus model. It is not a Railroad Plus model. We did review that. It's great value for money item. But this will be the one with the dual bogie design. Really high quality model. You can see it's got NEM pockets underneath there. This is going to prove popular as well. It's been upgraded to 21 pin socket as well. Steve Storm Bowman says, in the Hornby International Catalogue on page 228, there's a mention of a Hornby catenary system. It's not in the new items brochure and I cannot find anything about it. Interesting though. There may be further announcements through the year. This is quite a light range of announcements, it must be said. Now let's just have a... Do we get any... we've got the HM7000 down here, but I don't think... No, we don't really get any other information. I was just wondering whether we did, but we don't. So I think that's going to prove popular. 67 is also out in GB Rail Freight livery. We only get 8. I think last year it was 14 pages. But now we're on with the Gronks. Now, Dick Hardy Era 11. Heritage livery, but D4100. It's a Class 09 Dick Hardy, which would have been in this livery when it was fairly new. But it's the Dick Hardy nameplate that makes this Era 11. So for a lot of people, this will be a really good shoe-in for if you're doing the earlier BR scene. Now, they're still with the 8-pin socket. To be honest, doesn't really need any change. New Junction said, who else giggled? Yeah. I'm struggling for breath a bit again. I've got hot Ribena as well. Oh, it's cooled down enough that it soothes. So, Dick Hardy, and the other one actually. Now, this, another standout item. This is in my must-have range. So, dear Santa Claus, would really love one of these. I know it's not Christmas, but, you didn't get me anything for Christmas, Santa. So, this, what's not to like? It's a high-fidelity Gronk in Intercity livery, with the darker grey bottom stripe. I think they did, was it Piccadilly or Swansea or something like that, with the white bottom stripe. It always looks slightly wrong to me. Later on, I think to hide the dirt, BR started painting the lower stripe in this darker grey. So 08570, everybody loves a Gronk. Owen the Rail says nothing in BR blue, never mind. You can't please everyone all the time, I have to say, but look at the bright side. It saves you some money this year. Yeah, I know what you mean. I like BR Blue, but we have had quite a few of late. So I always think Intercity Regional Railways as well gets overlooked. You know, we're flying the flag with the North Yorkshire Moors Class 31-4 that's doing the rounds on the layout behind me. Wangop says, Jenny, were you a little naughty then? What, with the I have a present for you? Yeah, I did cover it up. This one, this is on my personal must-have list, I think. The Hornby Class 08 is definitely better than the back one. Not to take anything away from the back one, that is a great model. But I think this is definitely one which is on my hit list. I wouldn't be getting Dick Hardy. I already have Dick Hardy in Engineers Grey. Now this, I think, is one that might have passed under the radar. This is in the Railroad range, but it hints at an enhanced livery. So not quite sure what's going on there. But this is in Midland Railway livery. So we've got the... Can we make it bigger? Apparently not. That's as... That's as good as it gets. Now, I can't seem to make it bigger. But we've got... we can bring up the locomotive on its own. So this is the Railroad Midland Compound. But it does look like an enhanced livery application. And it's something that Bachmann has shied away from doing anything other than number 1000. And yes, there's a whole class of these things. And I've been thinking for a long time, we need the other members of the class in this livery. And here is Hornby stepping up to the plate. So, see you later, Sarah Davis. It's been up since 1 a.m. and falling asleep. So, going to go and... I got an appointment later, need to be awake. But yeah, I've only had like 3 hours interrupted sleep because I kept being woken up by coughing fits. So, I'm not so great. Turoko ORO says, will go well with my Intercity, referring to the 08. Definitely. Warbler Production says, there's a few locos I might be tempted by this year. Now I'm earning more money, I might be able to get some of them too. Yeah, I think there are some good little gems hidden away. For me, it's the Clerestory coaches. I really want to see how they look. If this is an enhanced livery application, then this might be one of the sleeper hits of the range. Now, 179.99, but bear in mind you're getting 2 coaches and a locomotive. Oh, we do have. Let's zoom in on those coaches. Potentially, these are just renders, but potentially those could be something special. Please, 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 Hornby, do consider fitting them with slimline tension locks. I think that would go a long, long way. Right, we've also got a railroad train pack, and this is the County of Merioneth. No mention of DCC ready. What have we got anything down here? There's no mention. Oh, decoder compatibility. 21 pin. Interesting. So the railroad range, some of these are going 21 pin as well. Colour me intrigued. Mention of the 21 pin TXS decoder there is making me wonder whether the county is on the sound file list that hopefully will come out at some point. Let's just see. Accessory bag, bar coupling, hook coupling, locomotive brake rod, and a tender brake rod. DCC ready. Oh, but there it says 8 pin. I'm going to assume actually that this is 8 pin. It's saying 21 pin there, but 8 pin there. A little bit confusing. I will try and clarify that. We've got the rail. Oh, it's not. There we go. Railroad coaches. Locomotive is interesting. Coach is less so for me. Then we've also got, we did talk about the L1 in the early Doncaster Green. Here it is. We're also getting it in BR Early Crest as 67735. Welcome reappearance in the range. Let's see, do we have any mention? No, there's no real mention of... No, it just says 8-pin connection. 8 TX. No, it's mentioning the TXS decoder. Anybody else? Yeah, let's go back down. Where's the tech specs? There we go. Decoder compatibility, primary, 8TX Bluetooth, 8-pin decoder. Now, I'm going to inquire about this. Have they redesigned some of these locos to fit the TXS decoder, or is this a signal that we've got the smaller format ones coming through? The L1 was always a tricky one to sound fit, so I'm interested about this. Joe Light Railway says, hello Jenny, glad you are better. I'm a little disappointed that Hornby hasn't got anything new locomotives like tank engines, and I'm disappointed that TT120 announcement won't come till April. Yeah, I know. I think it's wise to spread them apart. The TT120 and the 00. So, not hugely worried about that myself. But yeah, I think this is a consolidation year. I have actually heard from Hornby. I had an email this morning saying that they're still playing catch up on stuff that was kind of outstanding. So hopefully this is the final consolidation year. There are some new products. Locomotive-wise, the big standout is obviously that Stockton and Darlington one. But yeah, that's interesting. The mention of TXS. CP Model Railway says, Hornby need to get their act together to confirm decoder sockets in locos. I now wait to get a Hornby loco on my hands before buying decoders. Yeah, the 2MT, I saw conflicting descriptions of either 21-pin or 8-pin. The model itself turned out to have arrived with 8-pin, and I've actually got one in the box here. And they don't actually say on the end, I don't know if you can see that, it just says DCC ready. I do wish they'd put the type of pin, because when you're in the model shop, it's kind of handy to know. So let's just, yeah, the only standout new locomotive tooling, I am going to go back to this, because this is really special for me. This, I think, is the standout in the range. The Stockton and Darlington 200th, the bicentenary is coming up, and this, I think, it's hard to believe just how small this will be. My guess is they'll record the sound file from the similar locomotive that's at Beamish. Be foolish not to. It takes a Next 18 decoder socket, and I'd like to think that this will be designed from the outset to take that TXS decoder. This again is a must-have item for me. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake, big hello to you. Taroko 00 Railway says, I got a new puppy, also had very little sleep. A cane Corso is a gentle giant puppy but handful. So me feel sleepy, but trains rule my world. Boom! Let's have a look. So right, yeah, I think we're up to date with the comments. Angus's train says, I've got some locos. Those coaches will go well with. You might have to buy that pack. Absolutely. There is some good stuff here. Let's not shy away from the fact. I know that it's not as big an announcement. I think it's only 8 pages, whereas last year it was 14, and we thought that was light. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake says, morning Jenny, hope you get better. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm still really, really ill. This is a must-have item, and if it's a must-have item for you, then do get your pre-order in. It's going to sell out. Honestly, it really is. Just like the rocket packs did. So that really impressive. Oh, web exclusive. I didn't see this on my press release. Oh, nice. That's another livery that I sent Simon Kohler. And if I asked him, he'd probably say, I had that idea 10 minutes before you sent me that. So yeah, before last year's announcements, well actually, back in 2022, I fed Simon Kohler photographs of Isle of Wight Central Terriers, suggesting they do that. We had them sold as a train pack with IWC on the pack. This is a must-have item for me. Thank you very much. I love this livery. I prefer it to the other one that they released. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake asks, is there any A4s? Yes. We're getting Silver King in her same guise as she would have been modelled by Hornby 00 in the Hornby 00 range. That means single blast pipe BR early crest green. So that is definitely going to be a popular item. Never underestimate the power of nostalgia. This I'm really impressed with, actually. So Simon Kohler, I know you'll say that I didn't inspire you, but yeah, I sent you the pictures 2 years ago, and you did the Isle of Wight Central train pack based on some of the pictures I sent you. So I'm pleased. I like to think I've had an impact. Wangok says that's a great livery. Absolutely. Angus's train says, except Simon Kohler isn't responsible for it this year. No, but do bear in mind that these will have been under development since before he left. So, Simon, I'm glad you used the photos I sent you. What price? So we've got 149.99. Prices have crept up, not as bad as you'd expect. Still a 6-pin socket. They said the Bluetooth only HM7000 decoders. I believe they're due towards the end of this year, 2024, and we haven't got them in the beta testing group yet. Now, as I always make clear and come squeaky clean, I am in the beta test group for Hornby's TXS range. I think there's 22 of us in there, so it's not like I'm the pivotal mover and shaker. But we haven't even seen the non-sound Bluetooth decoders, so I'm really looking forward to them. And I hopefully that does mean that they will fit in the Terriers, so that is really quite good. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake says, has anyone other got Simon's job? Yes, Martin, I do have it. Let's have a look. I emailed him the other day, actually. So we've got, I think, Martin Weaver. So big up to Martin Weaver. Thank you so much for sharing the information with me. I did get the press release early, so I sat in bed this morning just going through and going, So if I don't sound quite as like, oh my god, Martin, you genius, moments, that's why also my throat doesn't allow that, unfortunately. So I don't remember seeing this, though, in the press release. So I'm wondering if there's any other sneaky hits. Delph Junction, big hello to you. Great to see you. Russell Benton says, I bought Rocket on impulse and it now sits in the bookcase. So while I was initially excited by Locomotion, reality is it will never run and never just become another ornament. I know what you mean. My Rocket set's the same, so much so there's a part of me considering trading it in. So mine's not the Triangle one, mine's the other one. So if anybody... Oh. No! What? Has the website broken? Oh no! Oh, hold on. It's the website's messed up. Oh, this is interesting. Oh no, don't want that. Why would it change that button on me? You referee. Right, let's try and find that Terrier again. I think we've gone too far. So we're only on page 2. So there's the Terrier. We've also got Tiger. How is this different from the previously released? I thought they'd already released this. Next 18 socket. Tech specs. Says it'll fit the next 18 sound decoder. Right, so Spanner Railway says, I've been trying to pre-order some things, but I can't complete the checkout due to timeouts. Guess there is no rush now. Spanner Railway, if you need to, then we do say that both Rails of Sheffield and TMC, the Model Centre, are taking pre-orders. If you want to try them, they will ship overseas if you're overseas. Right, yeah, Angus's Train says it's good to see Tiger by itself. So this is on its own, and this is something they've done rather than releasing them as an all-together set. So right, I understand. Why is it doing this? The website appears to be breaking, which is interesting. Right, so we've got Railroad Plus Class 47 with the TXS decoder fitted in. That's pretty good. Beatles set. And then we've got these triple packs of the TTAs. Let's just open this in new tab. See if that sorts our issue. So this is all new tooling. This was announced Oh yes, and Graham Muzz, of course, mustn't forget Kernow Model Centre as well. And I was trying to name check lots of different people before, and I did miss out. Kernow Model Centre, definitely worth placing your pre-order. And whilst you're there, do check out some of their exclusives. And I can't believe that the Bachmann 13-ton steel open wagon exclusive that they've done as a departmental wagon is still there. $9.99. Come on, people, buy them, buy them. It's the biggest bargain going for that wagon. You pay twice that for that base wagon. So if you don't have one, do get one. But yeah, Kernow Model Centre as well. Sorry, I forgot about you guys. Melchester Model Railway says, I agree with Russell. The Hornby rocket has a very fragile wire connection between the tender and loco. Mine broke, so it sits in the Melchester Museum now. Mine hasn't really been out of the box much. So like I said, if anybody's like that's a must-have item. Now I'm not giving it away, but I think I paid like something like $179.99 or something for it. But you know, do drop me a line. Mark Waitman says, I've got a modern Hornby rocket. Run it all the time. Great running model. So looking forward to locomotion number 1. Jenny gave it commentator's curse by suggesting it would never be built. Yes, last night on the Monday Club, I came out. Somebody said, I can't remember who actually said, oh, what about the Stockton and Darlington number 1 locomotion? And I went, oh, no, that'll never appear as a model. And here it is. So I do apologise to that person. In fairness, I did say there would probably be something for the Stockton and Darlington 200th anniversary. Right, these triple packs, I'm looking forward to them. It must be said, because it's a great way of building your fleet. We've got 3 different liveries in triple packs. A lot of Railroad Plus. We did say Railroad Plus was going to be a big area. So we've got the Class 66 in the Platinum Jubilee livery. Let's open that in a new tab so that things don't break. Graham Muzz says, Tar JK, you're welcome. We're always here to support the hobby, and it's always very important. We don't play favourites here. But yes, Kernow Model Centre is also available to take your pre-order. I think we mentioned TMC, the Model Centre, Rails of Sheffield, Great Eastern Models, 53A Models, Jim at the Loco Shed, Tim, and everyone at the Arcadia Posse, of course. There's so many good model shops left, but as we've seen with Hatton's shutting their doors after 77 years, use them or lose them. And certainly Kernow Model Centre has 2 physical locations, Camborne and is it Basingstoke, or is it Camborne and somewhere in Southern geography? I don't know. But yeah, Kernow Model Centre actually has 2 locations for physical shops. So whilst it is Kernow, which is Cornish for Cornwall, and they do have a location, I think it's in Berkshire. Is it, Graham Muzz? Angus's train says, does locomotion number 1 mean San Spiral could happen? Hint, hint. Excuse the spelling. Actually, I think you're pretty close, actually. Yeah, I think now that we've seen a scale rocket, a Lion, and now a locomotion number 1, I think you're absolutely right. I think the only one that I wouldn't expect is was it Cyclopod, the one with the horses on the treadmill that didn't work. But yeah, no, this is going to prove popular. We're in the under £100 mark. This is important. And Hornby are actually the only major retailer really doing this with budget level models. I mean, Daypol do some good budget wagons, but for locomotives, this is really good. Charleston Model Railway says local shops will get a lot more trade from me. Absolutely. Graham Muzz says Guildford. So there you go. So it's Camborne and Guildford. Hot Dog Pilot Andy as well. Says, well, Turoko 00 Railway says, Jen, we appreciate your effort, channel and all. Good work, thank you so much. And don't forget, if you haven't already done so, do subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell to be the first to know about new models as and when they go up. And as I said before, get your pre-orders in. You cannot pre-order from Hatton's anymore. Sadly, they have announced their closure. We announced that on the Monday Club last night. But other retailers, including Kernow Model Centre, TMC, Rails of Sheffield, and a great many others, are more than happy to accept your pre-orders. The Stockton and Darlington #1 locomotion is going to sell. No ifs, no buts. If that is a must-have item for you, get your order in now. Ditto for the Hornby 00A4. I'm quite surprised that, in some respects, that we haven't seen an all-new A4. An all-new Hornby 00 model. I did expect there to be something like that. I really thought they might revisit the N2, maybe next year. But Silver King was the glaring omission. They've done Mallard, they've done Sir Nigel Gresley, they've done Golden Fleece as an A4 recently. Silver King has been a glaring omission. Really glad they filled that, but it is going to sell well because nostalgia sells. There's a lot of people like me who had Silver King from Hornby 00 as a child, and they will want to relive that childhood magic. Angus's train says, yes, I believe the horses was cyclopod. Don't know how popular that would be or successful as an 00 model motorised. Well, it wasn't successful as a full-sized model, it must be said. So yeah, this is going to prove popular. Railroad Plus. Now, it says DCC ready 21-pin socket there. Let's double check it. Yeah, and that also agrees. 21-pin. Now, I'm interested now. Does anybody know, was the 66 in the railroad range always... is this... Oh, it doesn't say it's railroad. So this is main range. Was it always 21-pin? Melchester Mother Rose and Morning Francis. Haunted Halloween Railway Jet says Hornby is down. Oh no. That could be a problem because Hornby did send me a PDF and then said, but you can't show that online because it's got some of the wrong pictures in. So I can't actually show that. So let's just keep scrolling down. Let's see what it says about this. I am quite interested. Open it in new tab. That is coming up for us. I think if you go to specific pages, you have greater look. The main front page might be down. Oh, that's gone cold. Cold hot Ribena, isn't it? It loses the magic, doesn't it? 8-pin on 67s. The 66 was originally an 8-pin model, says Charles Duncan. So that appears to have had an upgrade. David Scott says, could be fun making the horse's legs move. I reckon you could do it with magnets. So they'd be just above the treadmill, and then you'd have a mechanism underneath that would sort of move magnets backwards and forwards. The legs would be just hinged and attracted by the magnets. There you are, Hornby. There's a great idea. I think you could do that. It would be very much a novelty item. But yeah, certainly, you know, anything's possible. That could be quite an interesting one, yeah. So yeah, hit me up for my ideas. I'm full of great ideas. Or maybe that's a Kernow Model Centre exclusive. Yeah, Graham. EFE Rail, perhaps. I don't know. I think it would be a bit too niche. In all honesty, but never say never. I said that Locomotion wouldn't come out last night. How stupid do I feel? I just want to see, is this DCC ready? Actually, this says it is. 6-pin. Interesting. So, 6-pin socket on the J83. Bear in mind, there's no other J83 in the market. So, Angus's train says Hornby is down due to Scale Electrics and Airfix announcements. Oh, right. Storm Bowman says 66 was 8-pin. It got upgraded around the same time if Climate Hero came out, that one was listed as 8-pin, but actually turned up as 21-pin. Joshua W56 says, I'm in college now. Excellent, welcome back. Let's see, can we get a bigger picture of that? I'm interested. Yes, I'd love a new retool J83. But at the moment, this is the only one in town. It's nice to see it's upgraded for a 6-pin socket. So, another addition to the Railroad Plus range. I think my tactic of I'm going directly to pages that I don't think are getting swamped, so I'm past the front portal. Toroko Double Railway says, Jen, do the locomotion. And yeah, I remember there was a special dance for that, and I was at primary school when that came out. And yes, there was a special dance. You all sat on the floor and did your thing, and I can't remember it. Sorry, I can't remember it. Right, Railroad Plus. The Parcels rail car has reached the Railroad Plus range. Nice livery. That is a render, I think. So, although, actually, no, is it a render? Because look, it's missing the hook on one end. I wonder if anybody else has spotted that. This model, there's your hook. There's the no hook, but that is the big goalpost style couplings. That is a shame. Hornby, please, 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 do upgrade the models. The Class 31 Railroad Plus model with the slimline tension locks and the 37 as well. Brilliant. 67, not so hot with those big goalpost ones. For me, actually, it goes a long way to improve a model. So if you can fit the slimline tension locks to any of these railroad models, I think it would be a great move. Look at the RRP, where that's the RRP, $84.99. So you're going to be seeing this in the 70s from retailers, and it's something that Hornby are doing, which I cannot stress enough, is important for the hobby. Keeping an accessible budget level range that brings people into the hobby. And, so as we saw, let's find, where's my the model? So we did recently do the video on the Railroad Plus 31. It's a great release from Hornby. Great budget level release. It holds up reasonably well next to the full fat range model. So yeah, I'll put it so I don't knock it when I flail. Put it back up there. Yes, it's the Railroad Plus range, really, really great. So I think this is going to be a good, solid addition to the range. Let's scroll down, see can we get some info on the tech specs. So it's going to have the 8-pin socket. Now it mentions the TXS decoder. Does this mean? Yeah, you can see that on your screen. Does this hint to future sound profiles for the TXS range? That would be really nice if they do. And I guess their ultimate intention is to cater for all of the models that they do. So possibly eventually. Within Model Railway says, I have ordered locomotion direct from Hornby. Yeah, like I said before, locomotion number 1 is a must-have item for a lot of people. Order it now or lose out. It's going to be sold out everywhere. It's going to be another rocket moment. Graham Muzz says the horse was too northern and not southern enough to be a KMRC mod. That is a good point. What about EFE Rail? Charles Duncan says they may do a generic DMU sound file, possibly. Although there is one of these preserved and running, at least one, possibly two. So it is possible to get an actual accurate sound file for these, I guess. Francis Wadsworth, saying hello to somebody. So it's gone very cold. I'm going to have to light the fire again. I must admit, I sleep in this. It's very comfortable, so I'm a bit cold. Do we get any information here? No, there's no... There it. Number 20 is preserved at the Kent and East Sussex Railway and 22 at the Didcot Railway Centre. So that does mean that they can get a sound file from these. So, you know, watch this space. Coke Wagons Triple Pack. Welcome return for these. Let's bring that up and then let's... Oh, I can see the spinny wheel of death. Let's Oh, there we go. This is another interesting one. So open a new tab. And then we've got the Polly locomotive. Nelly, Polly, Westwood 25550, and number 6, Connie. Now that's interesting. So 6 Connie, 7 Nelly, and 9 Polly. So does that hint that there would be others in the range? I don't know. Hanning's Rest Model Railway, big hello to you. And Haunted Halloween Rose says, I've got the Wheel of Death as well. Michael Weil says, hello from the UK, everyone. Big hello to you. I've got Spinny Wheel of Death. Let's stop, reload, stop, reload. I think the Hornby website has fallen over. So, luckily, we've covered all of the locomotives so far. I'm going to go in and open link in new tab. No, I think it's fallen over. This is a great shame. So, Angus's train says from trying. They were originally Triang, quite big sellers. They're not the original tooling, though, it must be said. I'll just point that out. But they are liveries to match. Yeah, the Hornby website has fallen over. I can't leave this page, because if I do, we will just have a blank page. But how are we doing on time? So it's we've been going for over an hour. Haunted Halloween Railway Jacks has definitely gone on the checkout page. So we will recommend that if you're frightened, the old FOMA, fear of missing out, today we are suggesting that you could try Kernow Model Centre, TMC, the Model Centre, Rails of Sheffield, or any local model shops that you know of. Might be a way to get your order in if you're really worried about missing out. Right, luckily the voice is holding up quite well. If anybody's thinking they've sneaked in under the radar, don't worry, it's Tuesday. But Gandalf did literally phone in his performance.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. So, he's still in bed, actually. There we go. There's Connie, number 6. I am interested, actually. Jerry BVR says, morning all, finally got a few minutes free. Welcome back. Great to see you. CP Model Railway says, if I remember correctly, 25550 is the old Margate phone number. Right, yes, I'm with you. Yes. Don't try ringing it, because you'll probably not get through to anybody at all. You certainly won't get through to Hornby. Now, are these DCC ready? Let's read what it says. In the 1960s, Triang Railways released the 040 industrial tank locomotive number 6 Connie in a yellow livery with the number R355Y. Number 6 Connie was also produced in a blue livery. These locomotive models were produced in the Rovex Scale Models Limited Margate factory and arrived in customers' hands encased in the iconic. Hornby loved the word iconic. I'm sorry, but everybody giggles a little bit because they think of Simon saying it. Simon says iconic. Triangle Railways, red and yellow packaging. The design for the locomotive appears to have been based on a Class C14, yes, which was intended for suburban passenger traffic around the City of London and was designed by Dougal Drummond for the London and South Western Railway in 1906. So this is part of the 70th anniversary. Let's have a look at the tech specs. No mention of DCC, so no, this will just be a little pocket rocket. This, for me, this is a standout item. We've got the Coles crane on the Laureate Y. With the Model Railway. The 040 isn't DCC ready. 2550 was originally a livery on the Triumph Paul Lord Westwood, but it was the phone number for the main switchboard at Hornby as well. Simon Snow says, just ordered 2 HM7021 TXS Bluetooth and DCC sound decoders from Hattons. I hope they will work with my ESU controller. They will work with any DCC controller that conforms to NMRA standards. Don't worry, they'll work. Now this, for me, I do like this. It's a long time since we've had a decent load on a decent flat type wagon. So I'm looking forward to this. I think the Coles train is from Oxford Rail. So this should probably appear quite quickly. So I spotted that in the listings. You need the app to change the sound profile. Now, the TXS decoders come with a generic sound file on. They did tell me what it is, but they come with this. It's like a steam locomotive profile, and you can then change that through the app. They will work out of the box, I believe, if you just plug them into a DCC locomotive. You can read them on your DCC and run it just like it's any other sound decoder, but you can't then change the sound file that's on it until you go in through the app. So that one impresses me. Welcome return of the Coke wagon. Angus's train says, yes, as I said, the Trying Margate Special 70 isn't the right shape for the original, presumably. If the original tooling was damaged and this is the closest 040 to the original. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Triangle disappeared. Certainly by the early 80s, I think that tooling was damaged and destroyed. Hot Dog Pilot Andy says, I'll order locomotion from our local shop. Delft Junction says, same here, Andy. Yeah, do support your local model shop as well. And yeah, it won't be a Shelf Queen, says Hot Dog Pilot. It's a pocket rocket. It'll be zipping around the track on 2 wheels on the corners. Toroko Over Railway says, I'm installing a new cabinet for all these new locos. Tim Maslin says, if you buy a loco with a TX decoder, can you swap the chip out for something like ESU or ZIM? Yes, because they're a standard DCC interface. So, for example, the Railroad Plus with sound, class 55 turned up, with a TXS decoder. I may have moved that decoder to something else, and you can do that. So, here's a hot tip for you. If you're buying a present for a younger modeler who just either wouldn't understand or would just damage or destroy a TXS decoder if they're just using the weird hacky old DC controller which would just blow it, swap it out for a blanking plate and you can keep the TXS decoder for yourself, and it's actually quite a bargain deal. Mark Waitman says, ordered locomotion from TMC. Excellent. Chris Hunt says, just finished watching last night's Monday Club. Hope the cough has eased. It has eased, as you can hear. I'm not 100%, but it has eased. Delft Junction says, mind you, there are always the exhibitions to get locomotives. But do you remember the news last night? Warley and the NEC is no more, apparently. Yeah, minus Warley, says Hot Dog Pilot Andy. Toreko Double O Railway says, I missed last night. Yeah, the cupboard monkey had to take over a little bit. Now, I love these Coke wagons, so I'm really happy to see there's 2 triple packs appeared. So, let's just... Oh, it keeps making a weird noise over there. Let's try our luck on page 5. There we go. So, here's the Hornby office building. And I'm also... these were hotly demanded. So we've got more of the Era 1 coaches and stuff, including, finally, we've got the mail coach and Queen Adelaide's Saloon. So let's go there. Right, so new coach, Sovereign. I'm unclear how many of these the Liverpool and Manchester actually had. But it's nice to see that Hornby are releasing a lot of different ones. They always change the name. I think Huskinson, Times, Dispatch, I like 3 of the famous ones. But Sovereign, this is the first class coach, Sovereign. Let's have a look. What does it say in the... Sovereign first class coach harks back to the luxury era channel and evokes a sense of being regal. Let's just... There's not really a lot of info. I wouldn't really expect a lot of info. So, I think these will prove quite popular. This one, certainly. Here's something a bit different. I do like this one. It's preserved in the National Railway Museum. So I can see this being a... this one being very popular. Make sure you get your pre-order in for this as well. Jenny's top tip is that this is going to be popular. Get your orders in. Tim Maslin asks, what has happened to Warley? I think somebody said that, yeah, hot dog pal Andy, because they want to retire. The people who've been organising it have been doing it for years and years, so they want to retire, and nobody seems willing or able to take over from them. It is a huge job. So I don't envy them the job of organising the Warley show. I think there's also, you know, expense, lowering footfall. So, you know, there are other shows. There's a new show at the NEC in April, being organised by Hornby magazine. So that certainly, I think, will become the de facto Warley show. But yeah, get your order in for this. That looks really nice, actually. I do like that. I'm going to leave it on the screen in the background because it's really nice. This is one a lot of people at the time asked, what, you know, oh, well, we don't want to buy the full pack to get that. Now you can get it separately. So this is definitely another get your order in now thing. So, yeah, and always get great electric train shows going from strength to strength. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think the Great Electric Train Show has become the premier show. Certainly this last year, it was just rammed. I think they need a bigger venue. Maybe the NEC. But Key Model World, they're organising the new one at Warley. So I think the idea is to split the load rather than having all your eggs in the Gets basket. They're doing Gets, and then they're doing the other one. Or is Key Model Worlds? No, is that BRM? Oh, you're getting me confused. New Junction was here earlier on. New Junction, put me right. Who's doing the new Warley show? So that one's definitely something to watch out for. And here's the Hornby office. There's no... I'm guessing it comes with a sticker to put the Hornby branding of your choice. Actually, wouldn't that be good? This model, but for the sign on the top, a series of adhesive labels, so you can have Hornby signs from through the ages. That may even be what they're doing with this. So let's just see if it... let's see, does it? No, it doesn't. I'm going to follow up on that. I think Hornby, I'm hoping that you've already thought of it, but I think self-adhesive labels with Hornby logos from through the years to represent all of the different signs that have been on that building would be perfect. Graham Muzz, yes, Key Model World, Hornby Magazine, New Junction, Key Publishing is Hornby Magazine, the new show is by them, Model World Life. Yeah, I'm getting confused between them and Warner's. It's Warner's, yeah. So I'm getting confused. I guess what we're looking at is because Getz has got so big, it's outgrown the venue. By having 2 shows, it takes a bit of the pressure off. So I think it's a great idea. But yeah, I am so going to query with Hornby. Will it come with self-adhesive signs to go on the front for Hornby logos, what that building has worn through the years, so that you could put that on your 1950s, 1960s, 70s or 80s layout and have a period correct sign? I think that would be awesome. Yeah, Worthing Model Railway says would need to include possibly Rovex and Triang. Tim Davis says, hello everyone, sorry I'm late. Well, technically you're not late, this is a special, but Gandalf, who is sleeping off biscuits from last night, has literally phoned in his performance.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right, let's have a look. What have we got now? So this and this are a order it or you'll miss out. They're going to prove very, very popular. I also like these. Let's bring that up. The sea lion and sea cows are reappearing. Let's just. We've also got Isle of Wight Central coaches available separately. Let me bring this up as well. I think that's going to be a popular one. Let's bring that up. I'm glossing over a few of these items. We've got a welcome reoccurrence of the trout wagons. Oh, go away, silly pop-up. Oh, small water tower. Yes, somebody mentioned that earlier on. So, the flat wagons as well, available separately. So, big hello, everybody. James Pets, I do approve, because I approve of your mock-out. Francis Wadsworth says, hope you're feeling better, Jenny. A little bit, but still quite rough, it must be said. Now, that one I'm going to bring up as well, and then I'm going to go back to page 2 on this tab, I think. Page 2, yeah, because I want to bring this one up as well. Right, so we've looked at that. This livery. It's been a while since the sea lions and sea cows have been available. Differences between them: braking systems in the main. So. Hornby do both. James Pett says, I'm joining you during an OCR break. OCR? I always knew OCR as being optical character recognition, i.e. scanning a document, a printed document, and the computer working it out and making it an editable text document. But I'm guessing OCR is something else. Tim Mason says, it's fair enough, I guess there will be nothing to replace it. This is the Warley show, unless April's show at the NEC is a replacement. And of course, Dan Baker says, the new show at the NEC isn't just railway modelling, it's all modelling. Which I think is going to be potentially quite interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. I would like to go. Right, let's get another Coke on the go. From my magical big box of cokiness. I was correct. James Pett says optical character recognition. I was right. I am OCRing a bundle. Are you impressed? Do you approve of the fact that I knew what OCR meant? Air Knight says, love seeing the L1 returning. and so surprised to see Locomotion number 1. Yeah, you and me both. I poo-pooed somebody's suggestion of Locomotion number 1 last night. And look at me. I'm not going to say I've got poo-poo on my face. Got egg on my face. Egg on my face. Delft Junction says rails are doing sea lion and sea cows for £33. I suspect other retailers may have them on pre-order for about the same. Chris Hunt says, I'm here whilst having a break and eating a split donut. Donut. James Pett says, I approve of Jenny's knowledge of the joys of OCR. Don't you have an assistant for that, James? I mean, I know you're a barrister. Don't barristers have assistants so that you don't have to do the boring work of feeding it page by page into a scanner? But this livery, going back to what's on screen, I like this livery. It's sort of a Dutch livery, but with patch painted panels. So I do really like that. Let's just see. Can we £37.49? So £33. We're being told that, was it TMC or Rails are doing? Graham Mose, if you let us know what Kerno are doing them for, then people have a range of options for ordering as well. Jerry BBR says OCR occupational competence registration. Angus's train says, is everything on sale at Hatton's now? How do you tell if it's on sale? I think it's like 35% off. I'm not sure if it is across the board or just certain things. But certainly it's well worth going and having a look. Top picks for me, the 21 pin and Next 18 versions of the Hornby TXS decoders are down to just a shade over £45 each, which is actually a really good price. It's the best price you'll find them anywhere. I don't believe they haven't got the 8 pins there. I didn't see them, and they haven't got the power packs. But that is certainly worth stocking up on if you're a big TXS user like me, and that is pretty much where I'm going after here. James Pett says, I'm not feeding page by page. It's already scanned. It's just not OCR'd. My assistant is some software. It's good to see that James is keeping the legal costs down by having software instead of a tea-swilling assistant. Damn those tea-swilling illegal assistants. All they do is sit around and swill tea and do the tasks that this software could be doing. Oh, God, listen to me. I talk some right rubbish, don't I? Now, the second class coach, this again is another one I would say is going to prove very popular. Get your pre-orders in. Mark Wayman says, Jenny with egg on her face. That will appeal to someone. Yeah, unfortunately, it probably will. Warbler Production says, my dad used to work for the company that developed OCR Xerox. Nice. James Pett, oh, sorry, I've already read that one. Go For It Painting says, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, hit that like button. Consider sharing this stream to social media to let other people know about this in-depth look at the Hornby 2024 range announcements. And also do please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not already done so, and hitting that like button. Not like, but the notification button. You've clearly already hit that like button. But yeah, this, I think there's some nice little wagons here. Coaches. Yeah, Graham Merce, KMRC, Sea Cows, $33.99. Boom! How, like, Graham Merce, our man on the ground, how are pre-orders going, incidentally? In terms of things like the Stockton and Darlington Locomotion number 1. Is that proving really popular? Are there any items that you would highly recommend that people get their pre-orders in because they're looking like they're going to sell out? I mean, my personal, I'm on the wrong side of the velvet rope here. I've got no information to go on, but my gut feeling is that Locomotion number 1, plus the male coach, Queen Adelaide's coach, and the one you're seeing on the screen now, will all prove very popular. The Isle of Wight Central Terrier might prove popular. I'm two minds on that. I personally do think as well that Silver King will be selling quickly, but Graham Muzz, if you could let us know, is there anything that we need to make sure we get pre-ordered? I mean, what are you seeing over there at Kerno Models in terms of unexpected popularity of certain items in these announcements that would encourage people to make sure they order it if it's a must-have item? Wangok also reminds us Cheltenham Model Centre as well, absolutely, and Hereford Models. Don't forget the Bargain Emporium, Hereford Model Centre. And if you do buy anything from any of these places, do let them know that I gave them a mention. It doesn't get me anything, but it's just they go, oh, Jenny remembered us. Tim Mousen says, wow, big changes, and this is the about Warley being cancelled. I guess Stafford is going to be the one for me then. I think... Ironic. I think actually it may help some of the smaller shows to grow, because without Warley, people will turn their attention to some of the other shows. Beverage of choice is Diet Coke. If anybody's interested. Mark Waitman says, off topic, but why Weir Yard? Some Northeast connection. Right. The story behind Weir Yard is that back when I worked in the... And James Petzel liked this, actually. I worked for the Department of Constitutional Affairs, which is now the Ministry of Justice. I think it's still the Ministry of Justice, but back then it was the Department for Constitutional Affairs. So... I lived in Durham, and my commute was on the train up to Newcastle. So I used to pass Tyne Yard, and it always fascinated me. Had my season ticket, so I was there every day, and I used to gaze out the window at Tyne Yard, and I found it fascinating. And previously I'd been at university at Durham, so I'd been to Newcastle and the Metro Centre on the train an awful lot. So it was something that I did see a lot. I was aware of Tees Yard as well, and when I built this, I had to get out of my system this idea of building a marshalling yard, a hump marshalling yard, and it wasn't going to be an exact duplicate of Tyne Yard because that's huge. Ditto for Tees Yard. The other major river in the northeast, you've got the River Tyne, the River Tees, and in between them is the River Wear. So logically, the naming convention would be my fictional hump marshalling yard would be Weir Yard, paying homage to Tyne Yard that I commuted past every day on the train to get to work, working in the civil service. Angus's Train says, at least not to hate on another modeler, but this year Mr. Trains won't have his thumbnail predictions. Mr. Trains? Who's Mr. Trains? Is that Simon? Simon Kohler? Angus's Trains. No, that's fine. Delft Junction says, got one more sea cow to make my rake of 6. Sea lions are my thing, actually. The sea cow's air brake, a bit too modern. I actually swapped all mine with somebody for something else. I must go digging, actually. I'm not sure what I've got left in terms of big bogey hoppers. I think I've got a sea lion from Hornby in olive green, possibly a Bachman one as well in that livery. I did have a full rake of the mainline weathered blue, but I think I was persuaded to swap them with somebody for something else. I did have a Dutch one. I think, again, I was persuaded to swap that one as well. I must go having a look around. Sea Cow. Haunted Halloween Railway. Jake. Sea Cow. It's a big ballast hopper. They all have aquatic type names, the engineers' wagons. And Sea Cow and Sea Lion were the names for the big bogey ballast hoppers. Now, right. Anyway, on screen. So I've been talking about other stuff for ages. I'm keeping an eye out to see if Graham Muzz is able to let us know if there's any items which Kerno Model Centre are seeing unusually high demand on pre-order for, just to let you guys know that you really should be getting your pre-orders in. But obviously, there we are, Graham Muzz, as you surmised, Locomotion, the LNMR coaches, and also the Isle of Wight coaches are doing well, says Graham Muzz, our man on the man in the know at Kerno Model Centre. So there you have it on that list. Locomotion, Liverpool and Manchester Railway coaches, and also the Isle of Wight coaches are doing well. So if they are must-have items for you, then do get them pre-ordered because you don't want to miss out. Right. Anyway, Railroad Range, $34.99. It's quite a nice little diesel shunter actually. Let's see, can we get it up nice and big? Saunders Oil Company number 3. I quite like this. You know, when you step away from the rather generic chassis, it's quite a nice little locomotive that Hornby have come up with. And definitely in the budget range. You're not going to find $34.99 RRP locomotive from Bachmann or Acura scale, are you? So it's pretty good. Let's have a look at the tech specs. Is it DCC ready? No mention. So I would say no. Fictional Florence. So time forbid, Florence and Zebedee. There's not really much information on that, so let's move on to the next one. Welcome edition of the Trout Wagons back. Graham Muzz says also GNER HST sets are doing okay, but retailers have been given low allocations. So again, thank you so much, Graham Muzz, our man in the know at Kerno Model Rail Centre, where you can put your Hornby pre-orders today, letting us know what's proving especially popular. I am curious about the Hornby 00A4 Silver King. I would have predicted that as being very popular, but it is quite expensive. So maybe I'm wrong on that prediction. I predicted that being quite popular. But thank you so much. And as we said, Kerno Model Centre is one of your local model shops here in the UK where you can make your pre-orders at a competitive price. As I said before, they're doing the Sea Cow hoppers at $33.99, so it's around the money on the discounts. Charleston Model Railway says, well, thanks, haven't been up in the loft for a month because of illness. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. I hope you're feeling better. Angus's train says, no, it was Sam's train, so he's trying to be clever, as you know. My favourite. You're my favourite. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. No, Mr. Trains. Oh, of course, yes. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit slow this morning. I'm getting over an illness. But you don't need to watch him now because you've had all the information here. So here we have the train. These have been out of the range for a couple of years. I mean, you see this. You have a model, they do lots of versions, and then you don't see them for a while. We've had it with the Coke hopper, and now we've got these the Trout hoppers. I'm pleased to see these return. These are a great wagon. I've actually I was moving some around. I've got 5 of them on the layout. There was a triple pack of weathered olive green, which I've got, plus a clean olive green. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake says YouTube is slowing down. It might be getting quite busy. There's a lot of people doing basically what I'm doing, but of course you want to go to the best one. You need to be here. Don't forget to tickle the like button and also share this stream. Let people know that the best in-depth analysis of the Hornby 2024 announcements is here. We've got massive model railway as well going on. It's like, ooh, massive model railway. There we go. See, massive model railway to play with as well. Right. So, let me just bring up that. So I'm going to go back to this. We've got the Trout Wagon as it's quite an interesting livery, not one I'm familiar with. Just looking down the comments. Charleston Mother Rose says, yeah, had it all year Christmas, going up in the loft after this. Well, look, it's never pleasant being ill. I'm glad that you're feeling a lot better. There's a lot of illness going around. I've had people describe it as the 100-day cough, as I'm only like 2 weeks into this, so I'm not really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm so glad that you're feeling better, Charleston Model Railway. Angus's train says, I would get a 00A4 Silver King, but I already have a 00A3 and Flying Scotsman. Yeah, I mean, John JMC, our guru of sound, he can't watch because he's at work at Rails. Well, I don't know, Graham Muzz is watching and he's at work at Kernow Model Centre, I'm assuming, but John JMC, our guru of sound, hasn't put us on in the background, or if he has, he's not paying attention. Go, John! Yeah, I mean, it's it's a more restrained set of releases this year. It's always was going to be a catch-up year again. But, you know, Angus's Train says, I've got a bit of a sour taste from Sam after he did a bad review from one of my favourite Australian locomotives. A bit of a surprise that, Sam giving a poor review to a locomotive. At the end of the day, it's always best to kind of shop around on reviews. I'm always brutally honest in my reviews, and the brutal honesty is that most models are pretty good. I also operate a system whereby, like my Golden Fleece has arrived faulty. Let's not pretend otherwise. My A4 Golden Fleece from Hornby arrived and is faulty. But I always give manufacturers an opportunity to resolve it, because I think as part of the review, for me, if a manufacturer resolves the issue amicably, quickly, and without hassle, then that's absolutely fine. You know, these are mass-produced precision items that are actually hand-assembled by people in a factory somewhere. You're always going to get a few that slip through the quality control net. It's a fact of life, and it's not just Hornby or Dapol or Acura Scale or Bachmann. It's all the manufacturers do have quality control. It's a fact of life, and it's how they deal with that which I think is quite important. So I always give manufacturers an opportunity to resolve the issue. If they do that, then that's fine. I don't need to draw attention to it, because as far as I'm concerned, I know that the manufacturer will deal with it amicably. There have been instances where I've marked a model down dramatically for having serious issues, that either was fundamental design flaw, or a manufacturer in one instance just like, not our problem. That's what I think is fair in a review. Chobberton Junction, big hello to you. Tim Madsen says, I agree with you on that point. Delft Junction says, still look, Tim, want a loco with a smoke generator. There is one in this group. Right, anyway, so Trout Wagon, we've done those. Let's get that off the screen. Somebody mentioned the small water tower. And bear in mind that space is always at a premium. I think this is going to be quite popular. It's a water tower that's actually perfect for going up against the back seam. So, I'm really quite interested. Or between tracks. Space is always going to be a premium. It looks a little bit like the one at Kirby Stephen East that they've built. I'm looking around now, actually. I've got a super quick one that's sort of around a wooden pillar. I can't really replace that, but certainly this water tower. I'm looking at. I found a spot. This water tower. I am almost certain one of these is going to appear on Weir Yard, because I really like it. Angus's Train says, yes, I understand that, and I would go to the same thing and take a pinch of salt, but there was one fact he missed about the model, and it was the fact that for the Australian market, it was good value. Yeah, absolutely. No manufacturer sets out to gouge. I had this conversation with a couple of manufacturers. This thing that gets peddled by a few people on. I've seen it on RM Web. I've seen it on Facebook groups. That somehow manufacturers are out to rip you off, and it's just not the case. We've seen Hattons say that they can't make it work anymore after 77 years. Well, what does that tell you? You know, I remember when people would say, "Oh, Hattons, look at them, they're ripping people off," and it's like, no, they weren't, because quite frankly, they couldn't make it pay in the end. It reached a point where it's like, well, look, there's not a future to keep going doing this. So what does that tell you? It tells you that margins are very thin. You know, we've seen DJ models go out of business, and I know there's like a big story behind that, but at the end of the day, couldn't make it pay. We've seen replica railways, mainline railways, Airfix model railways all disappear from the scene. Hornby 00 went bankrupt. Hornby itself has been bought out many times because things have struggled. So, it's not the land of milk and honey. Nobody got rich off model railways. Haunted Halloween Railway Jake says, Jenny, what problems have people had with the Accurascale Class 92s? I don't know, to be honest with you. I've heard of a few people having issues with the 37s, but I'm actually I'm looking at it now. I'm stress testing an Accurascale 37 to see what happens if you just run it and run it. Again, it's a small number of people. I don't know what the issue, if an issue exists with the 92 is. I haven't had any issue with mine, but then again, I haven't run mine very much. I'm just seeing what happens if I run the 37 to death. So you will see an Accurascale Class 37 for the foreseeable future doing the rounds on Weir Yard week in, week out. And what's actually being happened is it's being stress tested just to see what happens. So far, I can report it's doing really well. Right. DJ K666 says, hi all, on quickly. Say hello to you. Tim Maslin says, I've not had any problems with mine other than what was self-inflicted. Accurascale came to my rescue on that front. And that's good. It's like what I said before. How a manufacturer handles problems is very important. And, I'm quite prepared to regard a manufacturer well if they deal with an issue well. And, I am aware that as this channel grows and grows, manufacturers know who I am. So do they put on a special service for Jenny Kirk? And I'd like to think that no, they put on the same service they do for everybody else. But I make a judgment call, and I never do the big "don't you know who I am?" Never ever do that. And I don't make a thing. I don't say I'm Jenny Kirk, the YouTuber. I don't do that. I just go out and say, I bought this model, I've got this problem, can you help? And, just see what happens. And I don't, I think only one occasion I got brushed off. And I was actually from a very small manufacturer. But all the other manufacturers couldn't have been more helpful. Shaky Hand Shed Model Railways, big hello to you. End game is that if you have a shop, it is a money drainer when competing with online sellers selling from their garage. Yeah, and people thought of Hattons as being a massive box shift, like they're killing the local model shop. And as it turns out, no, they weren't. So they were $27.99. Sorry to go back to this. R7405 small water tower. I do like that. This is one that I've already got a spot picked out. I have got a spot picked out for you. In fact, I've got two spots, so I can put it in one of either of those. So definitely that is on my radar. I think that's going to be useful. Pushed up close to a back scene, not taking up too much space, or between tracks. That's definitely a good one. The Hornby 2024 wagon. Quite impressed by this. This is on the Coke wagon base. I really like this. I'm not a fan of the Hornby year wagons, but they've picked a good base for the model this year. It's a high quality, well-tooled wagon, and I like that livery. And I like the 2024 looking like it's been put on with, like one of those stencils and sprayed over the top. Because you could actually weather that up, disguise the Hornby thing, and that could be a good internal use of wagon. Yeah, but Jerry BVR, absolutely. In the age of social media, word of mouth can make or break a company if they mistreat a customer. Interesting story. If any of you follow a YouTube channel called Lehto's Law, that's Lehto ''S Law. He's an attorney in America, but he covers stories from all around the world. And he's recently covered a story that came from the UK in London, and a cyclist was carved up by a company van. They then posted the video from their helmet cam on YouTube and sent a complaint to the company saying, look, here's a link to the video so you can see what happened. Your driver carved me up. And the company wrote back and threatened to sue him, saying, you have infringed our copyright by putting a video that features our logo on our van online. I basically tried to bully boy him. It was what? Trademarking for... Yeah, trademark... Anyway, sorry, the Cupboard Monkeys turned illegal on. But yeah, so trademark infringement. FYI, that is not a thing in the UK. It was clearly a BS tactic to try and get them to take it down. Now, bear in mind, at this point, the video had 400 views. Because they tried the bully boy tactics, that video is, as of today, passing 300,000 views, because all these legal commentators on YouTube picked up on it and started talking about it. So that company, because they tried to bully the guy and bully him out of having this video on his YouTube channel, and he's got like 30 subscribers, or he did have just 30 subscribers, they have actually ended up making their company well known globally for being a bunch of bottoms. So yeah, it just shows. And then Gerald Ratner, the Ratner effect. Yeah, you mess it up, it is possible to kill a company through poor customer service. Right. Jerry BB. Yeah, sorry, we read that. That's what we were talking about. Delph Junction said, met the boss of Daypol at Crew Exhibition. Real gent. Yeah. Is that Joel Daypol? No, I refer to him as Joel Daypol. He's got a different surname, but he's got an account of Joel Daypol. Yeah, Joel is really he's a great guy. I've talked to him quite a lot. I usually deal with Neil, but always chat with Joel when I can. And yeah, lovely guys. And you've got to remember, all the people who work at these companies are very passionate about the hobby. I've never known an industry like the model rail industry where everyone you meet is passionate about the industry. They're not there going, oh, it's just a 9 to 5 job. You don't get that in this industry. You get people who are genuine enthusiasts. So, it's... it always pains me when people have a go at what they say is a faceless Hornby. And there's people behind, there are people at Hornby, and they're doing their absolute best because they believe in the products and they believe in the hobby. And, it does hurt when some of these people, when people have a go and make out like, oh, we're the evil modeler gouging ogres, and it's not the case. Robert Davies, yeah, the Streisand effect. If you're wondering, what's the Streisand effect? Barbara Streisand had this Malibu mansion or wherever it was, and she got upset that people were photographing it from the air. So she went to court to try and stop this. And the end result was that more people than ever were now photographing her house from the air as a result of her trying to stop people from photographing her house from the air. So actually, her lawsuit had the opposite effect of what was intended. David Scott says, time for lunch, folks. Thanks for the great stream. Catch you next week. You're absolutely welcome. Don't forget to tickle that like button. Share the stream to social media. Let everybody else know that this is your fullest and most in-depth look at the Hornby 2024 range. And if you haven't already done so, do please subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. You can also head on over to Patreon. We've got a link down below. We've got a full merch store down there as well, by the way. But yeah, you can head on over to Patreon as well and help support the channel. But this, I think, is a great basis for the Hornby 2024 wagon. $19.99, not too badly priced either. So I think that's surprisingly good. Now, locomotion number 1. Get your order in. Graham Muzz, our man in the know at Kerno Model Centre, one of the model shops in the UK, where you can pre-order with confidence the full Hornby 2024 range. I said that this is proving incredibly popular. This, the LMR coaches, let's see if we can bring some of those up just to... Where's my mouse pointing on? There we go. So this as well, order it. Order it now or you'll miss out. This, order it now or you'll miss out. This, again, order it now or you'll miss out. And this as well. Sue at Putnam Junction says, bye all, hope you feel better soon, Jenny. And so, look, you take care. It's great to have had your company and catch you next time. Angus's train says, what is the club model? I think, well, it says web exclusive. I don't know, to be honest. So let's go back to the page. Now, this is another one. It says web exclusive. Let's bring that up. I quite liked the 153. The ScotRail livery they did was incredible. Railroad... yeah, I'll bring that up. So... what else have we got? Oh, Black Prince. I didn't spot that before. We'll bring that up. That's a significant one, as is that. And Graham Muzz says this is proving very popular. So, where are we up to? Right, so we talked about that. Get your orders in. Tim Masson says, yeah, I didn't say it at Warley, and when I spoke to the Dayport staff there, they basically said, I am not the first to ask for it, including people ordering it. Apparently it's down to the Dayport owner. Didn't see it. Well, oh. Angus's train says, I'll pre-order my stuff when the Australian retailers get their stuff and order book information. No worries, no worries. Yeah, I know. Obviously, if you're not in the UK, there can be issues with getting stuff overseas. Do support your local retailers. And that goes to anybody in the US, Canada, India, Australia, New Zealand, France, and otherwise. So, right, Isle of Wight Central Terrier. This is web exclusive. So, this is actually an item I really, really want. I do like that livery. Really, really is nice. Apparently, the coaches, available for the first time separately in Isle of Wight Central livery, are proving very popular as well, according to Graham Muzz, our man in the know at Kerno Model Centre. Shaky Hands Shed Model Railway says, may get Northampton Saints, as I've photographed it, hauling a car train during the summer. CP Model Railway says, web exclusive does not mean club model. It means you can only get it from the Hornby website. With or without being a member. Yeah, I did suspect that. Yeah. So I'm not sure. This as well, Tiger, available separately on its own for the first time. Previously it was in a train pack. A lot of these items previously were in train packs, now available separately. Graham Muzz says the Hornby Collectors Club exclusive is... the Stockton and Darlington Railway 040 circa 1857 as first preserved. So I'll go looking for that in a moment, actually. But yes, brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Graham Muzz. Appreciate it. Storm Bowman says it hasn't been mentioned of the club model. It will probably be announced later. But we just heard from Graham Muzz. It's a as first preserved version of the Stockton and Darlington Railway number 1. So I will go and look for that in a bit. Now we've got Class 153 making a reappearance. 21 pin socket, yeah, that's the same as before. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is Hornby decoder compatibility primary. HM7000 21 pin TXS. That's a hint for me that they're doing a sound file for this. I will stay tuned and see what the updated sounds list is, but maybe I'm just trying to glean too much from information. But let's see now. Can we find community Hornby Club? There's nothing announced here, but Graham Muzz has told us that it's the as preserved Stockton and Darlington model, which is really nice. So, Wamdock, oh yeah, only be ordered for Hornby. Angus's train says yes, Australia stuff probably won't get worked out till next week because of summer break and overseas communication, but at least I won't have postage or tax GST. Delph Junction says, thanks for the live, Jenny. You're absolutely welcome. As always, we are here to serve you, the community, and bring you the most in-depth analysis of the Hornby 2024 range. Hot Dog Pile Andy says, so the Locomotionist Collector Club... Oh, no. There is a version for the Collectors Club. So let's... this is... yeah. We can just pre-order this. This is a regular... This is the Era 11... Right, here we are. This is Era 11. So this is as Locomotion number 1 is. Now, this will be the replica, won't it? That's a Beamish. So let's have a read down. There's an Era 1 version, I think, is the Collectors Club version. The original nickname of Locomotion was Active, and this is how it was referred until the summer of 1833. Ah, interesting. It is compatible with the HM7000 Next 18 decoder, which suggests there will be a sound profile. No, this one anybody can order. Era 11, and according to Graham Muzz, our man in the know, at Kerno Model Centre, there is an Era 1 version that will be the Collectors Club exclusive. So, Angus's train says the way Australia gets stuff is annoying because we're the other side of the world. We have to get the supplier to talk to Hornby, who then distribute all the relevant information to the retailers. No worries. Angus Train says yes, it's the preserved Era 11 version. It says in the corner of the locomotive, which means it won't annoy historians. DJK666 says, did I see a sub or a tin Hal on the Hornby literature? I haven't seen one yet. Angus's Train, I can't find, there's no mention of the Collectors Club version. If I go, oh, where's it gone? Is that pic? Oh no, no. So, there's Tiger. Yeah, Collectors Club. I'm looking down here. I don't see any reference. We've got the previous Collectors Club announcement there. Let's have a look at it's. Oh, it's not a link. No, we can't get any information on that. I don't think it's gone up yet. Just looking through. Ian Turvey says, just gone and ordered a couple of the Hornby HM7000 TXS decoders from Hatton's, whilst they still have some at that price. Yeah, I'm going to be there straight after the stream, actually, I must admit. Northampton Sates, GB Rail Freight Class 66. This includes the TXS decoder. And look at that price. RRP, $139.99. So if you take off let's say 50 quid for the TXS decoder, you get the loco there for like 89 quid. That is an incredibly good value price, and it's something that Hornby is really the only major the only major manufacturer doing. So let's just have a look. Any information? Oh, for vac pipe. No, it didn't. I don't think 66s don't have vacuum brakes. It should be air pipes. So yeah, it's an interesting model. Let's get rid of that tab. Black Prince and the new retooled 9F. That will prove quite popular, I'm guessing. Graham Murr says the Collectors Club versions may not have been formally announced yet to the club. Okay. Ian Turvey says, just gone and ordered a couple of the Hornby HM7000 TXS decoders from Hattons. Oh, we've already read that, sorry. Storm Bowman says, there are Collectors Club exclusives and Collectors Club's model 2024. I've not seen anything. Also, Collectors Club model 2024 would normally be an 040, sort of around. Yeah, no information on the website at the moment. Black Prince, that's a lovely model. The Hornby 9F is a great model. So we've got Black Prince is coming this year. Let's just see on price. 249. It is an all-new tooled model, 21-pin socket. What? Oh, so this is preservation era as well. Somebody was asking about the steam generator. So we've got Earl Marischal with the double smoke deflectors. You might remember that that Hornby shared a CAD for the double smoke deflector version. More obvious on the front end view, which we don't get here. But this has now appeared. There's speculation about this, and it's one of the surprisingly several things that people have guessed correctly. I was very surprised by the Stockton and Darlington #1. Right, I'm starting to flag a bit. My voice is failing me, so we won't go on for too much longer. But we've got that. This I think is going to be popular. Silver King, cannot be underestimated how important this model is to so many people of my age or older. I had Silver King as a model when I was young. It was a Hornby 00 model, second hand, and that was my introduction to the A4. And a lot of other people were the same. And the Hornby 00 model from the 1950s was the single blast pipe BR green early crest model. So it's the obvious and only choice for Hornby to do in the Hornby 00 range. It was glaring by its absence last year. And I, for one, was one who went on to them like, dear Mr. Hornby, you really need to do Silver King. Because Silver King has not been released in a high-fidelity model ever. Believe it or not. Hornby is shied away from doing Silver King. So this is the first appearance of Silver King as an A4 in this livery for over 20 years. Mark Whiteman says TMC have the Class 47 with TXS for $107.99 and the Class 66 TXS for $125.99. Great value, absolutely. As we said before, a number of other retailers you can get your pre-orders in. Graham Muzz, our man in the know at Kerno Model Centre as well, will be more than willing to take your pre-orders as well. But there's a lot of these. Are really a case of you need to get your orders in or you may miss out. I don't want to be one to add to the feeding frenzy, but if you don't order it, you're going to miss out. Air Knight says, took the advice of pre-ordering the Locomotion #1. Absolutely. Locomotion #1 is going to sell out. No ifs, no buts. It is going to sell out. It will probably show as sold out by the end of this week. I'm going to say maybe a little bit longer before that happens on the Hornby website, but even so, expect it to sell out. So if it is a must-have item for you, you need to pre-order it. Otherwise, you're basically saying, I'm not going to buy one. A Haunted Halloween Railway Jake says needs some new A4 to come out like from a Curascan, as they like for the cab detail. I don't think that's necessary. Golden Fleece has working firebox flicker. That seems to be the new in thing for steam locomotives, and I do quite like it when it's controllable via the DCC. So they have updated the model. I think the major retool was in 2004, and it's an incredibly good model. The Hornby 00 model is all new tooling, so doesn't need a new model. On your screen is the new model. But yeah, really pleased about this. It says DCC ready 8-pin socket. Let's just check the tech specs. Yeah, this is 8-pin sockets. Maybe the Hornby 00 ones are still using the 8-pin chassis, but certainly the main range versions I've moved over to 21-pin. No, Angus is strange. Don't worry. I didn't take it as a rant. I completely understand. I didn't read it as a rant, so don't worry. You're okay. DJK666 says just trying to get a credit card to a healthier shape. And yeah, Angus is trying to totally agree with you. I don't think we need resources going into another model of the A4, and I think Akira Scale would agree. New Junction, wherever you are, I'm sure you'd agree. I don't think it's allowed to publicly give any hints about models, but the reality is that I don't think that any manufacturer would consider really doing an A4. And remember, there's the Dapol Black Label one that they could reintroduce as well. This one, according to Graham Murs, our man in the know at Kerno Model Centre, who'll be more than happy to take the pre-orders today, has said that this is proving very popular, if only because retailers do not have a large allocation of this. Now, GNER, I always liked GNER. I always thought it was absolute sacrilege that they got effectively squeezed out of business. Because I thought they were one of the best post-privatisation companies. It's a very eye-catching, very memorable livery, the all-over dark blue with the GNER in gold and the red stripe. So these apparently, according to Graham Murs at Kerno Model Centre, are proving very popular, and there is limited allocation because the manufacturers... the Hornby haven't given the retailers a huge allocation of these. So again, this is you need to order these because supply is low. They are expensive. That may be why there's low supply. $359.99 for the driving car and the other car. There's only a motor in one of them, but you can put a decoder into both of them to get working lights, working fans on some models. I did do a full review of these. They are superb models. It cannot be underestimated how good the new tooled Hornby HST is. But if you want the GNER blue one, get your pre-order in because they are limited supply. So just be aware of that. Now let's go back to some of the other models. We've got our Wartime Black W1. King locomotives looking good. B1 in preserved Mayflower. That's another top pick. I think it's going to prove popular. We've also got the Princess Coronation class. Yeah, still a little bit ill. Hot Dog Pilot Andy says, my Black Label A4 is superior to the Hornby offering, no problems, and with a swinging rear pony. Yeah, I think there's always that on the cards, that Dapol can just put them back into production. I think that, obviously they're very expensive. There's a lot of features, but they're very expensive. I, for one, would like to see the return of the Dapol Black Label A4s. Sorry, I am so thoroughly ill, but never mind. Let's press on. DJ K666 says, alright, I've got to get ready for work. I'm on till 9 PM tonight. Oh my word. James Hardy says it should really be called the Hornby 2024 range Phase 1. Haunted Halloween Railway Jakes is double O. Nice, but it's trying to get hands on them. That's the thing, Jen, because a lot of people buy them and then sell them on £500 plus on eBay. Yeah, the Duchess of Atholl, which was the first introduced, people were doing that, and they were like gold dust. I have to thank Simon Kohler and Montana Huron, who organised. I paid full retail for it. I don't think I got a freebie because I didn't. Paid full retail for that double O Duchess of Atholl, but it's a special locomotive for me. I haven't bought any further double O locomotives, but for me, Duchess of Atholl LMS livery was special because I had that as a child. We've still got the model somewhere. Mark Waitman says, got to go, bye-bye. Many thanks, Jenny. Great stuff. Oh, great to have your company. Don't forget to make sure you tickle that like button before you leave and consider sharing us to social media and let other people know that we are here with the most in-depth analysis of the Hornby 2024 range. Jerry BVR says, I'm off, chores are calling, take care everyone. Thanks, Jen, for the stream. We'll catch the rest later. We're not going to be going for much longer. But look, it's been an absolute honour to have your company. But we're not going to be going for much longer. I'm just going to... So we did look at this before. There is a mention down here in the tech specs for the TXS decoder, which makes me wonder if there is a TXS profile for the B1 forthcoming. I think this is going to prove popular. It is. There's a lot of preserved locomotives here. We got Stockton and Darlington locomotion number 1. We got the B1. We got Black Prince. That's 3 locomotives in their preservation liveries. So really, really, I think it's the year of the preserved items. I can feel there's almost like a breeze coming from behind me. I'm going to have to investigate. Have we got a breach of the insulation? Yeah, it's like... It's very windy outside here. I'm just... Yeah, there. There's a breeze. I'm gonna have to sort that out. I think I know what it is. There used to be an extractor fan there, and I think it's somehow blowing through the tube. Right. What else have we got? Princess Coronation class. I love this Express Blue. Always a popular model. It is a great model. It's one of the Hornby flagship models. So, City of Lancaster. This is definitely another one which I think will sell well. That BR Experimental Blue. Why did we never see many models in that before? I love that livery. So I think that's going to prove popular. The only Princess Coronation they're doing, it must be said. Upgraded to 21-pin sockets. Trains, Kits, etc. says, predictions that didn't come true. New Tool Pug and New Tool Cali Pug. Cali Pug, I suspect that's more of a Rapido Trains thing. The Cali Pug, it was a similar one actually. If you're going to do the Cali Pug, because it was it a Nielsen design? They were also on the North British Railway. So the LNER Y9 is very, very similar. So I'd guess a tooling suite that covers the Caledonian Pug and the LNER Y9 would be what we'd look for. Tim Maslin says, are you going to be getting onto Graham Muzz after the stream with your list of pre-orders? I don't think there's going to be anything left. Just bear in mind that some of these are selling quite quickly. there will be pre-orders going in, but bear in mind I get a good deal at certain places. So yeah, maybe. Right, let's move on from that one. The King makes a welcome reappearance. So we've got oh wait a minute, hold on. King Charles II. Oh, sorry, brain fart moment. I was thinking King Charles III. It's like, oh, that was a subtle one, but no, King Charles II. I think this might prove popular. And bear in mind, we've got the double chimney. Is that new? Have they released the double chimney version in this new retooled version before? Angus's Trains says, bearing in mind, my Hornby did stay tuned for some additional surprise announcements. I stay tuned for future announcements later in the year. Right, so Hornby are doing 2 parts apparently. I think that is interesting. That would explain why it's a little bit less in number. I think it was 14 pages last year. There's only 8 this year. Yeah, so still plausible for more models. I hadn't spotted that, but you're absolutely right. And I like this with the Bachmann model with the 4 announcements in the year. I actually prefer it. Because you don't then end up like, oh, I've got to commit to all these things. Why have we got wagons here just left behind? Which, incidentally, I can't remember whether... if you do go to Kernow Model Centre, this wagon, this Bachmann all singing, all dancing wagon is one of their special commissions, and they still have it brand new on their website for £9.99. It's my bargain of the year and has been for a number of years. Why they still have them in stock, to be honest, it's because clearly people don't know it's there. But whilst you're there pre-ordering your 2024 range, do consider grabbing one of them, because that's really good value. Angus's Train says, they said on the Signal Box Hornby episode from the announcement, the new boss said that. Yeah, time to go, says Wamgok. Yeah, I'm going to be winding down now in a moment. Anyway, I've actually gone for a lot longer than I thought. But so we've got King Charles II. I think this might prove popular. People always love something that sounds a little bit like the current Monarch. But I'm looking down tech specs. 21-pin TXS. Now, is that a hint we're getting a King sound file for the TXS? I have been looking quite hard, and I'm in the beta group. They don't tell me these things. I'm not sure where things are up to with future unannounced TXS profiles, but certainly this could be a hint. So, looking forward to that. And we've also got... Oh, we've done that one. So let's get rid of that. We've done that one. Done that one. Had a look at that. Just running back through. Definitely this is the standout of the range. Order it or you will miss out. No ifs, no buts. Angus's Train says, yes, I'm going to go and get ready for the Q&A at Hornby. Hopefully some of my questions get answered. What time are they starting that, incidentally? I'm just curious. Excuse me. Because I don't want to overrun and basically be hogging people when there's a Q&A at Hornby. So do let me know, actually, Angus, if you could tell me what time they're starting that. These, I think, well, actually, Graham Muzz, our man in the know at Kernow Model Centre, where you can order all of the Hornby 2024 range and secure your pre-order to avoid disappointment. These are proving popular. I like that there's a preserved one of these. Aaron Ville says, I'm still waiting for the Hornby Flying Scotsman with TXS and steam generator. None of the steam generation models have yet been released. 1 PM GMT, says Angus's Train. Right, so That's fine. I wouldn't want to step on Hornby's toes. I'm sure that'll prove popular. I would recommend that you guys go and do the Hornby Q&A if you want more information. I'm going to round off now because my throat feels like I have got down and naughty with a blow lamp. It's really, really quite sore. Right. Yeah. So yeah, everybody said it's 1 o'clock my time. So my time now is 12:25. So basically, in 35 minutes from now, wherever you are in the world. So it's 1 p.m. here, but obviously, if your time zone is a different time zone, it's a different time to you, but it's the same. It's confusing, this time zone thing, isn't it? Right. Anyway, I'm going to round off. Thank you for joining me. It's been really great to have your company going through this Hornby 2024 range announcement, and a big thank you to Hornby as well. Martin Weaver, incidentally, is the new guy who is the head of brand for Hornby, to effectively taking over from Simon. I think it's Simon's, or might be Montana. Simon Cole, it was kind of just like Mr. Hornby, but I think Martin Weaver has taken over what was Montana Hearn's role. You know, in all the times I interviewed her and met her, I never actually asked. I always called her Montana, but I am aware that people within the industry who worked at Hornby refer to her as Monty, and I never actually asked her, like, do you prefer Monty as opposed to Montana? Because it's probably like I'm using Sunday Best name. Never did ask. Tim Mason said, what channel is it on? It's the Hornby channel. So look for Hornby Model Railways on YouTube. Tell them I sent you. Tell Michael Day and all the others. Say, Jenny says hi. And she says she really likes Top Picks, Stockton and Darlington Locomotion. Blindsided me. Last night I was telling people, oh, I don't think anybody will make that. Oh, what do I know? But Silver King as well. That's my childhood nostalgia, giving her a really good massage. So look, you guys take great care of yourself. And happy modelling. Bye for now. Oh my word. That's what he said. What the heck? Excuse me. Let's turn some volume on with some trains. Hide my coughing and spluttering. don't forget, everybody, that the Hornby Q&A starts at 1 o'clock over on the Hornby Model Railways channel. So if you want to keep up to date and ask Hornby any questions on the new 2024 range, that's the channel to be swapping over to. I'm sure they're getting ready to go live and would appreciate you joining in. Don't forget to tell them that that we sent you. So I've just shared a link in the chat. That link will take you to the Hornby Model Railways live Q&A, which is due to start in a few minutes. So from everybody here at Weir Yard, thank you so much for joining us for this in-depth breakdown and look at the Hornby 2024 range announcements. Do join the chat over at the Hornby Q&A and let them know that we sent you. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.